any minute now. Then I think you're going to want to watch the actual Zoom, not the Facebook, because I think it's delayed.
Okay.
All right, let's see. Oh, we're live, you guys.
Yay, we did it.
We did do it. Okay. First time for everything. And this is my official first time going from Zoom to Facebook Live. But we did it. Yay! Oh, I'm so excited about our time together tonight. And before we get started, I just want to mention for all of our viewers, make sure you share this live into your group pages, because we're going to talk about HostA Posts. And I know while some of you may think, what is a HostA Post? Others are going, oh my gosh, I love HostA Posts. And some might even be thinking, HostA Post didn't really work for me. No matter where you're at on that spectrum, I promise you after tonight, you're going to feel differently about how using HostA Post in your business can transform your business. And so, you know, we don't just want to teach you what it is. We actually want to teach you what to do once the business starts rolling in from using this strategy to build your list. So before we get started in the content for tonight, I do want to take a minute because I'm super excited to have both Amanda and Stacy joining me tonight. And I could not be more excited to have you guys sharing all your tips and tricks, because I know you are having a tremendous amount of success using HostA Post to build your business. So Stacy Alcala, let's go ahead and start with you. Tell us a little bit who you are. Where are you from? Do you have any kids? How long you've been with It Works? Share a little bit of your story.
Sure. Yeah. So Stacy Akala, I live in Dallas, well, just south of Dallas. Have two beautiful girls, married to a children's pastor. I got into this business because Sherry Lynn Akala would not take no for an answer. She asked me almost every day for 3 weeks. And I continued to tell her no until finally she wore me down. I'm glad that she did, because this business has completely changed my life. I mean, the Lord has used this in such a powerful way to help my husband on a health journey where he's lost over 50 pounds. Financially, what it's done for us to get out of medical debt. And, you know, the last thing we're working on is paying off our house now and just taking businesses and going towards that and debt free, which has been amazing. But I think more than anything, this business has helped me learn how to step outside my comfort zone. And that is what, I mean, I don't want to go back.
Stacy, that is so genuinely true. I mean, it's funny because as much as I know many times you're out of your comfort zone, I'm always inspired by you just look discomfort, fear, your comfort zone in the face, and you're like, nope, you're not holding me back, you know? And I'm just always been so impressed with how you step out of your comfort zone on a regular basis. And so I'm glad you're here with us tonight, because I can't wait to learn from you.
Oh, thank you. I'm honored to be on here.
Well, how about you, Miss Amanda Boucher? How are you tonight? Tell us a little bit about yourself. Oh, I'm going to unmute you, Amanda. Or maybe I'm not going to unmute. Oh, there you go.
All right. Hi, guys. I'm Amanda. I'm from Arizona, from Phoenix. I just celebrated 5 years with this amazing company just last month, and it has just been such an amazing journey. If I would have thought, you know, 5 years ago where, you know, this business would have taken me not just financially, but just, you know, just spiritually and, you know, getting out of your comfort zone, you know, just growing emotionally, just so many ways, like this business has just changed our lives completely. And it's brought me home. I was a former dental hygienist. I practiced for 8 years, and this business has brought me home to my babies. We paid off over $85,000 in student loans, $35,000 in credit card debt. And it has just been, you know, such an amazing journey. What I love the most is that, you know, this business not only has blessed us in so many ways, but it's really allowed us to be able to bless so many other people and to serve so many other people health-wise, you know, and financially wise. So it's just been, you know, such an incredible journey.
Oh, I love that, Amanda. Well, I'm excited to get to know you more. And Stacy, I'm looking forward to spending more time with you. I want to jump right into our topic for tonight. It's, you know, if you're on the East Coast, it's a little after 10. If you're on Pacific time, it's like 7 o'clock at night and you have the whole night ahead of you. But regardless, we know you're busy and we want to make sure that you take this information and you apply it to your business, because we know when you do, the results are going to be unbelievable. So why don't we start by doing this? Amanda, define for us in a couple sentences, what is HostAPost? Post?
Yeah, so a HostAPost Post is pretty much you are having somebody from your network make a post for you, and you give them the post. They post it on their Facebook page, and their network, their following, sees that post. And so instantly, you know, you have somebody who is posting for you, and it's just building, you know, that attraction on their Facebook page, and, you know, in return, it's going to you. So I give them the post, and their friends comment and like, and that just opens up a whole network for you.
I love that, because here's the deal. HostAPost Post is like old school referrals, right? Asking for referrals. Or for example, when you get a new distributor on your team and they host like an event in their home, or they do an online event and they invite their friends and family, that's very similar to the value of what HostAPost does for your business. And sometimes people may not even realize they're interested in your business until they see their friends and family have a ton of interest in the posts that you give them to host. And also, sometimes not everybody's going to do the business. So if they're willing to open up their network to you, what a blessing that is, because it helps you build your list. And I want to emphasize that here for a minute. There's 5 fundamentals in building this business. And one of the fundamentals that you must do every day is build your list. And when you join the business, you have a list of people that you're reaching out to talk about the products, to talk about the business. But after you've been in for some time, very quickly, you feel like you've exhausted your list. Now, whether or not that's true, the bottom line is you should always be adding new names to your list. And HostAPost Post is such a quick way to do that, right? And I love, because you guys, I can't even believe it, but when I started this business in 2001, I did go do a lot of like old school networking. And I'm not saying you shouldn't, but it took a lot of hustle to get 5 or 6 names versus a HostAPost Post where, and I know you guys will get into this, some you get a few, but others you get tens of 20s of 30s of hundreds of people that comment. And so Stacy, is there anything you want to add just in kind of introducing what HostAPost Post is?
I think, like, to put it in simple terms, it's like someone hosting a mini party for you. It's like the fast food mini party. I don't know. It happens so fast and you're right there. And
that's right.
It just connects you, like you said.
So Amanda, before we move too quickly into some of these other things, tell me what your favorite post is that you share with people, or do you have several that you use?
Nope, I stick to 3 HostAPost Posts, and that is it. I did dabble with several different ones, and the ones that I feel are the strongest for me would be, I love doing the keto coffee. I love doing just a general weight loss one, and then I love doing the detox cleanse. And the reason I stick to those 3 is because I feel like it attracts, you know, people instantly. But then what I love about it is then you can really dive into, okay, yes, this person may want a detox cleanse, but really, what do they want? Like, what are their goals? Do they want to lose 20 pounds, 30 pounds, 15 pounds? Are they wanting to tone up? And so those 3 HostAPost Posts for me, I feel like it opens up such a huge range of, you know, that these people trying other products to really individualize their care and individualize them getting, you know, the results that they're wanting. So I stick with those 3 HostAPost Posts.
Okay, I like it. How about you, Stacy? Any others you want to add to that?
The only other one I add to that is hair, skin, and nails, because I always find there's people, if they're not interested in weight loss, they want to do something with their hair and skin. And so I love adding that one in there as well. Now,
have either of you tried collagen yet?
I haven't done a collagen one, but when, like Stacey said, like if you do like a HostAPost Post, because sometimes I'll look at my network and be like, okay, she is a hairstylist, like the hair skin nails would be awesome for her. And so then, you know, the collagen or the hair skin nails would be such an amazing one. But again, when you do, you know, the HostA Post for hair, skin, and nails, I think again, you can introduce collagen with the hair, skin, and nails. And so you can combine those two, and, you know, so absolutely.
That makes sense. I love that product, by the way. Okay. So, tell me, you've got some, or okay, let's do this. Stacey, tell me how you even get somebody to host a post for you. Like what does that look like? How do you make that happen?
Sure. The easiest, most simple way that I have been able to tap into my market is go into my Facebook list, and it can pull up in alphabetical order when you get in there. Be able to pull up in alphabetical order. I started at Z and worked my way backwards and started sending out messages. And actually I got this tip from Amanda. But getting to where 10 people will post for you a day. So I'll start with Z and I'll message my way back, and I'll just simply say, hey friend, would you mind doing me a favor? Don't worry, I'm not gonna you know, make you buy something or sell anything. Laugh out loud, would you do a favor for me? Just a simple message like that, and they immediately respond like, yeah, sure, what's going on, you know?
Gosh, that is so simple. And what if you haven't talked to them in a while?
I mean, sometimes I'll start with, how are you? But generally you just kind of get it out there and it makes a connection, and it's kind of fun where that goes from there.
And so you don't have to offer them anything free. You just ask them to do you a favor.
Yep. That's it.
Okay. I love that. Do you do anything different, Amanda?
No, I go through my A through Z list as well. The other ones I do is just, I'll do the people who are active on Messenger right then and there. Cause you know, if you have a network, you know, of 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 people, you're going to have probably 300, 400, 500 people who are active on Facebook right then and there. So you can just send them a quick message. And I have a couple that I send out. One is just very simple like Stacey's, just, you know, hey, will you do me a favor? Some of them are like, hey girlfriend, I have a question for you. Or, hey, would you do me a favor? And then the next response would be, hey, you know, would you mind doing me a favor? I'm going for a huge promotion right now. If I gave you a post to make on your wall, and, you know, would you make that for me and tag it, you know, and then I'll enter you into my drawing that I'm doing. Or if I get enough people, you know, I'll send you a free sample of my amazing coffee, you know, something like that. I have a couple that I play with. Yeah, and I send them out to everyone.
Well, and
for the yellows out there, instead of, sometimes you like to not say I'm going for a promotion, but you can say my team's going for a huge promotion and I want to help them out. And then you're asking.
Oh, I like that, Stacey. I wonder if you know any yellows. That made you think that. That's so good though, because it's so true. Okay, so just for those of you that are feeling very low techy, no techy, and you're just like, oh my gosh, I don't even know if I know how to do this. It really is just an opportunity for people to share your product on their wall. It's just that simple. And if you ask them, if I make a post and tag you, will you approve it? That will not nearly get as much visibility as if they post it and tag you. And so, you know, I want to make sure you understand that the whole purpose of this is to get them to actually post it on their wall. Yes, you'll feed them the exact message, they copy paste the before and after picture they're going to put with it, but the goal is to get them to post it on their wall so that their network gets more engagement. Again, if you post it, tag them, there's not nearly as much engagement on that post. And the reason you want them to tag you is because then it helps you stay organized to go back and see all the engagement they're getting. So I don't know about you guys, but when I did this, I actually have them tag me, but I don't approve the tag. So it's still in my waiting to be approved, but that way it's so simple for me to go find it and see the comments and, you know, all the different ways that I can engage. Do you guys have any other methods for organizing yourself with HostA Post?
I do exactly what you say. I just make sure they don't go to my wall and then they're right there.
I do that as well. I do add them to my collections. So then I'll have, you know, my November HostA Post collections. So then again, I can just go, you know, so say October, right now I can just go to my October HostA Post collections. And then I can just, you know, maybe do like a little emoji or make sure everything, you know, maybe follow up with those people who are on there, you know, if I missed them so that's just another way to organize it.
So would it also bump bump it to everybody that had commented on it if you keep in the collections and you add an emoji or something?
Yeah. So at the end of the month, that's what I do. I'll go through. So like at the end of November, I'm going to go through all of October's and I'm just going to add a little emoji. And I might do that, for, September and October for the next couple of months, depending on the time that I have, but it just bumps it right up and you'll be surprised how many more people will start to comment on it.
Gosh, that's awesome. I've actually never heard that. I didn't know that's what the collections were used for, but that's such a great strategy for organization. But it also helps with the follow-up piece. And so, and you guys can give an example of like when you've had just a few comments and a few pieces of engagement versus some of your greatest HostA posts that just filled your inbox. Follow-up is key here. We always say fortune is in the follow-up. And you guys, what I want you to know is I love what Stacy said. It's kind of like a fast track party online, but it's building your list. It's getting new people to engage with and start building relationships with, but it's also where the work really begins. Once you get someone to host a post for you, okay, now the fun begins because now you've got all these new contacts, you got people asking questions about product and maybe even the business, right? But now you've got all these people you didn't know before that you're not just adding on social, but you're engaging with them, you're building a relationship because you don't know who of them could be a business partner for you. So, one of the things I really wanted to focus on tonight is I wanted to talk about how we take a successful HostA post and really maximize and benefit from it from loyal customers, selling samples, getting new distributors. And obviously, as we build our list, that's the goal. But this one practice can do all of those things, And so, Stacy, I guess I would say to you, how often are you following up? What are you doing to follow up to really maximize the benefit of the HostA post?
Okay, yes. So as often as I'm following up, what I will do when somebody hosts a post, immediately I go in, like you're saying, add to your network. So I'm adding those people who are commenting as friends and the likers, the people who are doing that. So now they're friends. I'm saying under the post, I'm going to message you, and I send them a screenshot of the post that they commented on, because some people are like, how do I know you? I'm like, oh, you commented on this post. And when they see that picture right there, so they see that, they're added, and then that's the first touch, that first.
Ooh. Do we?
Sorry.
Oh. No, that's okay.
Okay. Sorry. Sorry, we're out of town and my daughter's FaceTiming my husband and it's
Listen, technology, right? I have a love-hate relationship for technology.
I know. Okay, so after I've liked them and I've asked, hey, are you interested? I generally, Keto Coffee has been my go-to most of the time right now if somebody's not doing, hasn't hosted yet for me. And with that, I'll tell them, are you interested in more info about this coffee? And then they'll come back. So that is that initial contact. Then I do a 2-day follow-up. That conversation can lead to lots of different places. But today's Wednesday. So what I did today when I got up is I went back through my messenger on Monday. And I went through every conversation I had on Monday. I leave time for that because you're right. The fortune is in the follow-up. I will say more than 80% of the people that have signed up as a loyal customer or distributor from this HostA post has been on that third or fourth contact and not that first one. So it's immediate right there that it's like, hey, are you still thinking about it? Do you want me to hold a spot? Do you have any more questions? Simple contacts that way that I'm messaging with that 2-day follow-up. And then depending upon where the conversation ended, I'm putting in orders today. Would you like me to add yours or hold a spot for you? I like using the hold a spot word because then they're like, oh yeah, I can't yet, but I will be able to. And then I just ask for a date. What is that date you want to hold that spot for? And they send me a date and we put a reminder in Facebook and I'll write it down in my calendar because, Facebook is not always the best friend in that. So just double writing that places. And so I love the 2-day follow-up. I also will go back every Friday from the posts that have happened the week before and put in, I'm so excited for the orders I'm putting in today. You guys are going to love this stuff. And I'll put a before and after, another before and after on there. And then it'll be like, oh, you get messages right away. Oh yeah, I wanted that coffee? I forgot, you know, so those are two of the follow-ups that I love to use. The 2-day follow-up and then posting on that post again.
So somebody's doing HostA Post. Is your first goal? Oh, okay. Before I get there, I got so many questions, you guys. I got so many questions. But Amanda, what if you already have 5,000 friends? How the heck, if you can't add them as friends, then what do you do?
So I go through and I delete friends. That way I have enough time. That way I have enough room to add new network in all the time. So I will go through, and this is how I delete them. When I'm going through to send out my HostA Post, I'll say, okay, have they responded? Do they post on Facebook? Like, when's the last time they posted? If they didn't post since like September or like months ago, I just take them off of my friend list because I'm like, they're not active on Facebook. They're not, you know, they haven't responded to me. And so I end up just removing them. And when I'm going through my A through Z list, it's really great because when I send them that message, hey girlfriend, I have a question for you. Or, hey, you know, when I send them that initial message, it allows me to see, okay, do I want this person on my Facebook page? Do I want this person like in my network? You know, are they somebody who I could help? And, or, you know, and so
you're like talent scouting from your HostA Post. You're not just adding everybody that comments and you're going, oh, this one, yes, this one could be, I like
when
that.
they do, like when I have a HostA Post, I do send them a friend. Like if I have like enough room on my Facebook page, you know, I do send them a friend request and then I send them that initial message. I like wave to them and then I send my initial message to them. But if you're at 5,000 friends, then you definitely want to go through your network and think, okay, who can I remove from my network so I can add new life into my Facebook or Instagram?
Well, and I love that you said that because it's just going to increase your engagement too on your posts, because if they're not on social media and they're not engaging anyways, I mean, what's the point? That's really good. Okay. So I have heard recently, probably more times than not, I tried HostA Post. It didn't work for me. What would you say to that?
I would say keep trying. I feel like it's just the same as I send messages out there. It's a numbers game. And when you hit your number, it's going to come back to you. Because I actually said that a couple times. I'm like, this does not work for me. And then a girl I almost was scared to ask a favor for, because right, we all get there. Sometimes it's uncomfortable. I'm like, I'm scared to ask this girl, but I'm going to ask her really quick. And I got 10 loyal customers from her post. And that was the first one that actually went through for me. But that had been after a couple of weeks of just sending out messages. So
okay, I love that because it shows the importance of consistency. And I mean, I imagine you, Amanda, you've had some that, you know, they have like, okay, or it's a bomb. And then you have some that are probably just like explosive. Tell me about that a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. And I would say the same thing that Stacy said, like it just takes consistency. And when you first start doing it, just like anything else, you're just planting those seeds. You're seeing who can host. And some people you'll have hosts and they don't get anything, but some people they'll host and they'll have like, 20 comments. Like I just did a HostA Post. It was from yesterday and I got 6 customers just from that HostA Post today. So that's just what it is about. You make you do your initial messages one day and just think like, those initial messages, you're going to get potentials and customers and distributors the next day, the next week, the next month. And so that's really what it is. I started HostA Post about a year ago, November last year. I didn't get too much from it in November, but guess what? December, I got 98 customers. And so that's just what, you do what, consistency, you do it daily and, give a little bit of time, for your business for it every day. And everything you do today, it's going to pay off tomorrow, the next day, the next week, the next month, 6 months. You never know, but it's just that consistency. And some HostA Posts, you're going to get nothing from it. And some HostA Posts, you're going to get some. And so how I kind of gauge it is like, if my goal every single day is to get 10 HostA Posts out. And from those 10 HostA Posts, I want to get an X amount of number of potentials on my list. That's my goal, is I want a certain amount of number of potentials on my list every single day. If I don't reach that number, then guess what? I go and I ask more people to host a post for me, because that's my initial goal. It's not how many potential, like HostA Posts, my goal is to get 10. But if I don't get that amount of potentials from my 10, I'm going to go out and I'm going to get some more people to host a post for me. Because just like what Stacy said, it is literally a numbers game. The more people you ask, the more people you're going to get. And, you know, it's just, and then also a lot of prayer. Lord, who can I help today?
Well, bring me that next runner, Lord. Yes. I'm ready for it. You know, somebody that needs what It Works has to offer. Oh my gosh. So a couple things, you know, I just want to put this in perspective for different types of builders, different seasons in your business. You know, before I came over to the corporate side of things, I'd been in the field for 12 and a half years. And I can tell you that I still had people reaching out to me to do the business that I had met my first or second year in the business, right? So while it might not seem like a HostA Post was successful, if you got some new friends out of it, and so now you guys are engaged with each other on social, you never know when life is going to happen to them, and you post something and they're like, okay, I wasn't ready then, but I'm ready now. And so it's just like, how many of us have gone to launch somebody at a house party and nobody showed up but one person? And we were like, well, that was a freaking waste of time, right? But you never know what that one person could do, even if they don't do anything that night. I mean, I've had people come back 3-4 years later and say to me, so-and-so that hosted is not doing it anymore, but I became your friend on Facebook that night. So can I do this with you, you know? And so you just never know when that seed that you planted is going to actually build a harvest, right? And so I just can't even imagine, because of the amount of seeds you're planting, because of what you're doing through this program. It's so impressive to me. I'm just like, maybe I need to come back on the field side and start building, because this HostA Post thing is just, it blows my mind with the benefits of what this can do for you. So,
and I think, Cami, just what you said, like, I think it's just so fun. Like, it's like a game. Like, okay, who can I like help today? Like, how many people can I get? Like on our team, like we make it a contest. Like, how many did you get today? Like, you know, and it's just brought so much fun to our business, because it really is just an amazing way to, you know, build your network and your business. And
yeah, and I love that like you said, potentials, because you're adding people now who are interested in getting healthier in some way. And what do? We help people get healthy. So they might not respond to that coffee post, but then you're posting about how the cleanse did something, or you're posting about working out and new you. And then they're like, oh, that's what I really wanted, or the shake is what I really wanted. And it's a common ground already established.
Yeah.
Well, and it goes back to the whole, I mean, you may think you're being consistent with HostA Post, but then it comes back to, but are you being consistent with sharing your life and what It Works is in your life as a business aspect, but also the products and how you use the products every day? I mean, if you're not posting about the products on a regular basis, then, you know, that's a consistency piece you're missing. Now, it's interesting because I was reading a social media book a couple months ago, and the woman said, you know, early on in her business, she said she would post her story and then she would do it about once a month, because she was like, I just didn't want people to get sick of hearing my story. And then she had like an aha moment, and she was like, we all know algorithms change. We all know people don't see what's in what's in the feed every single day. You're not popping up in their feed. But also, in addition to that, what if they did see your post every single day? And for 29 days, 29 months, 29 years, they were like, no. But all of a sudden, one day, something shifts. And if that's the day you didn't post your story, and they needed it, right? So consistency is key, not just with HostA Post, but also how you live your business online. And what I love about HostA Post is I truly believe it's a thoughtful way to build your business and your online network, rather than just adding people, messaging and spamming people. It really is a great opportunity you're adding a strong, consistent number of people every single day. You're building that relationship. I mean, it's like the 5 fundamentals on a whole nother level, you know. HostA Post does them all. All right, I got 2 more questions that I have for you guys. I know we could talk all night about this. It was funny because I was working with my team and they were like, well, how many guests do you want to have? And I was like, 2, just 2, because I know we could talk all night about this incredible topic. And so, but I do want to ask you this, because obviously you guys you're selling samples and you're getting a lot of customers. You are, right? Mm-hmm. How do you convert that? Well, let me ask this first. Are you even signing distributors, Stacy?
Mm-hmm. I am.
So how are you converting, or what are you doing? Because I know when I'm in a when I'm in a wrap room with someone, or when I'm at a house party with somebody and we're talking at the end, the very first thing I talk about and bring up is the business. Because I always figure if they're not ready for the business, well, then let's talk about being a customer. Worst case scenario, we sell some samples or we host another event. So tell me what that process looks like with HostAPost Post for you.
Absolutely. So I love the initial message. There's a few ways I do this. The initial message, like, hey, could I ask a favor? And sometimes if I think that person would be a great DT, I will say, I was going to ask you to post something, but if I'm really honest, I think you would be incredible at what I do. Have you ever thought about it? And I love planting that seed. And they might come back and go, I'll post for you. You know what I mean? But if they're like, if they're not going to do that, they'll post for me. So I love using that as an outlet. And if they've got a great, like if I have people who have got great responses, that goes two ways. Someone's like, this is how you do this business. And I'm like, yes. And they're like, this is so easy. I'm like, it is easy. You just got to do it, be consistent, right? And so that begins a conversation. Also, if they have and they don't think about it, I'm like, are you sure you haven't thought about this business? Because you would rock at it. Look at how your market wants to, is interested in this. So I do those. And then I love talking to my loyal customers about becoming distributors when they fall in love with the product. Mm-hmm. That is one of my favorite things to do. Those are some of my favorite DTs because they're already bought in at a certain way. So we have parties twice a month on Facebook. And so I invite all my loyal customers to those parties where we always talk about the business as well.
I like that. Just you're hitting them air, land, and sea, right? Several different ways that you're talking to them about the business. How about you, Amanda? Anything you'd add or that you might do differently? Because like I said, this is a customer gathering program. How do you really, how do you switch gears to make sure you're building your team with it as well?
Yeah, so similar thing as Stacy. I do, like, anytime I have somebody host a post and if they get 2 or more like comments, I immediately go to, that host and I say, oh my gosh, I'm like, you have so much interest on your post. Are you interested in making some extra money? And it's Christmas time right now. So I can say, are you interested in making some Christmas cash? Because instantly they're like, yes, I need Christmas cash. And then I really feel that it's about how your energy and your excitement. Like if they have two people who comment, oh my gosh, like you have 2 people who comment. That is so awesome. Like this is how I build, this is how we build this business. Are you interested in making some Christmas cash? And then they're like, maybe they're like, oh, I don't know. But the thing is, like what Stacy says, you just planted that seed in their head. And then when they get more people, then you ask them, the other thing I like to do is I like to ask when I have somebody who's going to sign up as a customer, I like to say, you know what, like if I feel like they would be awesome at this business, I like to say, you know what, I know you're wanting to get, the Fit 30, but would you also like to make some Christmas cash? Would you also like to make some money and get healthy? Because again, maybe they're just wanting to use the products, but again, you're planting that seed. And so I love asking, the host, I love asking the potential customers. And then again, like Stacy said, I always ask my customers as well, especially when they're loving this, the products or, so it's just asking, same with when we're asking people to host a post, we're asking people to, try these products and use these products. We need to ask people if they want to make extra money as well. If they want to, make extra money and get healthy. And a lot of times, they do. And if they don't, you're planting that seed for sure.
Well, and I just think if you don't ask, the answer is always no. I remember being at events where, I was gathering 4 or 5 loyals and I would say, listen, these can be mine or they can be yours. And with 4 loyals or 5 loyals, you get to go on a shopping spree, right? And so being able to share with them the benefit of what that could do. And even, I already made this much in selling some samples and I've got like 2 people, 5 people, 10 people that are still asking for information. Gosh, I so appreciate this business, but have you ever thought about doing your business? And it's funny, I think it was Amy Spence or Ellie Antonacci who was like literally walking out the door and they're like, do you want these customers to be yours or mine? And so it's such a great way. And one other thing you said, Amanda, that I think is so key here, some of you might think in your head, 2 comments, that doesn't mean they have a huge amount of interest. Well, I guess it's all about perspective, right? Because if they have 2 people interested and that's all they've done to even try, they could at least make enough money to pay for their own habit. And so it's really about your perspective too. I love that you have a rule. After 2 comments, you're like, boom. If the only thing you take from this is you get back on the wagon with doing HostA Post, and then after 2 comments on the HostA Post, it's an automatic trigger to ask them if they've ever thought about doing this as a business, because your network is interested and you can make some extra money right before the holidays. Who doesn't want to make money before the holidays, you know, by simply throwing some posts up online? So I love that. You guys are blowing my mind, and just, you know, again, it's business is business. And I think what's interesting is I think sometimes we think building online is so different than building, you know, belly to belly or, you know, one-on-ones phone. It's not different. You know, it's referrals, it's building your list, it's following up, it's sharing the story, whether you're sharing the story online, you're sharing the story in person. I love it. I love it. Okay. Do you guys have any last minute tips or tricks for HostA Post that you that you implement as part of your strategy to really maximize growth in your business?
I think one thing that I like to do is, you know, like I said, like we might put out a HostA Post for, let's just say the keto coffee. But again, so the first initial message I make would be like, hey, thanks for commenting on, you know, so-and-so's post. Are you interested in more information on the keto coffee and losing 10 pounds or losing, you know, X amount of weight? And then they're like, a lot of times they're like, I want to lose 20 pounds. So at that point, it allows me to say, you know what, the keto coffee is going to be so amazing for you, but I'm also going to pair this and this with your package. And I think just saying like, this is what's going to give you the best results. When you say, this is what I recommend, this is what's going to give you your best results to get to your goal weight, they're like, okay, yeah, like I'm going to do that, you know? And so I think it's just, you know, really individualizing the person's, you know, the person that you're talking to, instead of just putting everybody on keto coffee. Really think, okay, what are their goals? And whatever their goals are, fit them to the products that are going to be best for them, because we want customers that are going to be lifers. We want customers who are going to love these products, get to their results, and, you know, really fall in love with these products. And the best way to do that is to find the products that are going to be best for them and for their goals. And so I think really, you know, just individualizing each person, instead of, you know, we have those copy and paste messages for what the description is, but really individualizing what does my potential want here? You know, what are their goals? And that gets a little bit more personal. And then one other thing, you guys, text replacement. Stacy, do you use that? So yeah, text replacement, literally, it will just make it so that you can like get through these HostA Posts super fast. You're not spending, you know, all day long on it. So.
And tell me what that is for people that don't know, because you all act like you know, but I don't know what that is. Is that the Instagram new feature where you can like literally save the text you're sending?
No.
It's like that, but it's on your iPhone.
Okay, yeah. So all you have to do is like, I can put keto apostrophe or the mark, and then it just types in like what my description of the keto coffee is. Or wow. I could put like, you know, my first initial one is I put H1, and that says, hey, you know, I have a question, would you do a favor for me? You know, it sends out my whole, message. And so it just makes it super fast when you have those. You know,
I used to store my little scripts in the notes section. I'd copy, paste. Now, I will say, I am such a big fan of the minute you get somebody new on Facebook, of sending them like a voice memo or even a video memo, so they see you and they start really building that authentic relationship. Like, I think that's so powerful, but I like the simplicity of what you guys are saying with that. So you can do both. And one thing I want to reiterate that Amanda has said over and over and over again, and I really appreciate this, Amanda, as you go through and take people off your friends list and add new people on, you're really being thoughtful with how you're doing that. How will we connect? Is this somebody that will, you know, be a good fit with it works? I like that. And I think it's just a reminder, you guys, that people are at the center of our business. And when you get the person right, the business works. And so if nothing else, if you're adding everybody that comments on a HostA Post, fine. At least go to their wall and check them out. Do they have kids? Are they a hairstylist? Are they huge into fitness? You know, just get to know who they are a little bit. Nothing drives me more crazy than when y'all are doing your your messaging, and I get a message from you that's like, hey, have you heard of that crazy breath thing? Or did you know It Works has collagen now? Or hey, did you hear It Works has fat burning coffee? And I'm like, oh, that's so awesome. I should learn more about that. You know, like I love doing that because I realize people are just in the, you know, they're in the zone, but I want you to realize it is a people-centered business. And when you get the person right, the business works. And so just real important to put that personalized touch onto it. Stacey, anything else you want to add to this?
I would say too, one of the follow-up steps that I always go for is then if, you know, the person quite isn't interested yet or not there, then they're a great candidate to ask to host a post again and start the cycle all over again. Always good to, you know, and connect that way with them. That works.
Well, and that makes sense, right? Because if they're just not ready yet, well, would you be willing to do this and see where this leads us? I think that's genius. And because you guys are constantly updating your friends list, you're never running out of a network to ask to host a post, especially because your HostA Posts are building more people into your network, which means you have more. It's just like this cycle that's spinning out of control in a really, really good way. I love it. All right. Well, I guarantee that you learned something that you are excited to implement like right in this moment. And I truly believe, why wait to do tomorrow what you can do today? If you got 10 or 20 new things that you could implement, start with a few. You know, you can do anything, but you can't do everything, and you want to take one step at a time. But you know what, share in the comments below what it is that was like a light bulb moment for you tonight. Give these girls a shout out on social, Amanda Boucher and Stacey Alcala, and let them know what you learned from them. I'll have them go back into the comments after this so that they can answer some of your questions, possibly put some of their example posts in there, because I guarantee that was a question that you had. This video will go up on YouTube. So if you are not following me on YouTube, we'll continue to give you just real current and what's hot, what's working in this business. And I want to make sure that you don't miss out on that. So Amanda, Stacey, thank you so very much. Is there anything else before I actually click end to our live tonight that you want to make sure you add, like a burning desire, right?
No. I mean, I thought the information was really good. I think just the thing is like, have a positive mindset and just consistency. Like, know that this method does work. It's very duplicatable for our team, especially newbies. And just, you know, keep going, even if you're not getting something right away.
You know what? Even your method of getting 10 people to host a post for you daily, that is such a strong system. I mean, you guys just gave so many solid nuggets all night long. I appreciate you guys so much. I know we threw this together last minute, but so good.
Thanks, Cami.
I can't wait to hear someone on stage at our next conference like a year from now. There's like, oh my gosh, there was this amazing live with Amanda and Stacey, and ever since then, my life has forever changed. I love it. Yes. All right, you guys have a good night, and I can't wait to see both of you.
Bye, Cami. Bye, Stacey.
Yes, conference. Bye. This was fun.